Yeah, good morning. So we are going to continue with the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I saw too many of me over here. So can the person who is logged in please change? Okay, thank you very much. So it is important for us to understand how this Narada story continues. All right. So Narada is known to be the son of a very poor lady. Hmm? She is a maid servant and she used to work in an ashram where Narada used to go. Now, during the 4 months of the season where all the people come together and then they don't leave that place because of heavy rains and stuff like that. So, at that moment in time, Narada learns from these masters after eating a little food from their plate, asking permission. Okay, this you have understood? So far the story goes like that. Now let us continue with the story. These people are leaving now. The time is over. Autumn is come. So they are supposed to leave now. So all the sages and the saints are departing from that place. Now Narada also tells his mother, I also want to go. But he is not allowed to go by his mother because she has bound him by the ties of affection. Now this is a very strange phenomena which happens in the world. Human beings, they tie another person to themselves and don't allow the other person to go anywhere. The parents are literally tying their children. They will say a lot of things. When the children say, we want to go somewhere and explore the world or something like that, the parents do a lot of blackmailing to the children. First and foremost, they will blackmail the children saying that, oh, you owe it to us, we have taken care of you, blah, blah, all those things. The parents are literally doing this to every child. And the child gets, buckled under this pressure of the family. And this has been going on for donkey's years. The parents literally put the person down under and say, okay, you have to do this for us. And everybody wants to do it. We are forced to do. Human beings are forced to do this. Then comes the next relationship. The next relationship is the spouse. Now where the spouse is concerned, the moment you get married and you have children also, you are not an independent person at all. So as a man, you are never independent. And as a woman also, you are forced to follow certain norms of the society. You can't do this, you can't do that, this is not done, that is not done. If the man wants to go on his own for a big holiday, or maybe he wants to just roam around and go to the mountains or something like this, nobody is interested. So, this is the idea which we should always have. Why is a person bound by this? These are called bonds of affection. The bonds of affection ties a person up. Guadalupe, very nice to see your... I'm very happy to see your writing. Okay, thank you. Now let me continue. So here the idea is we should be free, but human beings are never free. Either it is the society which bounds you, the money which bounds you, people, places, things, everything is binding you. See how people are bound by their own country. Think about it. I am an Indian. I can't go to any country in the world without a visa. Correct? So I got to get permissions, I got to get all those things, then only I can travel. Now if I want to travel to a country which is forbidden, I am not allowed to go there. So where is the freedom? Freedom doesn't exist in this world. We are thinking that there is freedom. Then things, we get bound by the things. Suppose you are paying a loan, okay, and you have taken a 20-year loan. Are you bound by that loan? Yes, of course. Can you leave that place and go away? No, somebody else has to take the loan on their head then, isn't it? So money, houses, cars, properties, human beings, places, things, everything binds you. Now the biggest binding is what? A cell phone. You see, you cannot leave the cell phone and go anywhere. How many people have the guts to leave the cell phone at home and then walk out of the house? Nobody has that. Because somewhere you might be caught. The person will ask you, show me your identification. And suppose you are not carrying your identification. You see, your phone has a lot of identification, but otherwise you don't have. What are you going to do? I hope you understand. There is a big problem there. And that is the reason why there is no freedom. So Narada is explaining this to us. Today we are continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, verse 9 onwards. So I have given you an introduction where Narada is trapped by his mother, saying that you can't go after all these things, especially spiritual. Spiritual, nobody wants. The moment the word spiritual comes into the picture, everybody thinks, okay, you are going to become some spiritual sage or teacher or Swamiji or sannyasi or something and run away from the house. I mean, that's the thing the world thinks, the running away from the house is easy when you become a sannyasi. And everybody wants to run away. Because we don't want responsibilities. Responsibilities means we are tied up over there. So people don't want to take up this responsibility. That is the reason why Narada is not allowed. Now, God is a very strange person. He is going to do something now. Let us see. So why does the mother want this? Because she is worried. She is worried that if Narada leaves and goes, what happens? Who is going to take care of my little baby? What is going to happen to him? How will people treat him? Everybody will be very bad to him, blah, blah, blah. All those things, Who is going to give him the food? I feed him every day. This is what the mother thinks. So exactly how she is thinking. Now, Narada was staying with his mother 5 years, and now the time has come when something has to happen. So let us see what happens. So we are doing verse 9. Once upon a time, my poor mother, when going out one night to milk a cow, was bitten in the leg by a serpent, influenced by the supreme time. So this is the strange thing that happens to the mother. The mother, who is trapped her son into staying with him, God takes pity on Narada and says, okay, I will give you liberation. And he kills his mother. The mother dies of a serpent biting her in the night. Now who is there to stop Narada? Nobody. I hope you get the point. People think something dangerous happening, like say example a death or something like that, is very bad, very bad. Well, in the spiritual world, we are the happiest of the creatures when death happens. You know why? Good riddance to all these attachments. I don't want these attachments. These attachments are putting us down so much. Just imagine your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your children. Everybody is pulling you down. Can you do anything on your own? No. Can you say today I am not going to do anything, I just going to go to the mountains and sit there? You can't do that. only the highest of the devotee get this chance of liberation. God gives him an opportunity like this. Or if the Divine Lord himself comes in your way, he will clear the path for you. And this is a very strange thing. You know, all these people whom we will talk about now, think how they happened to get liberated. Jesus Christ, the only attachment was to his mother, father and his brothers, sisters. That's it. But he left one day and went away. There was no wife to look after him or say, oh, today go to the market and get these things, get that thing, I want this in the home, my children are hungry, all that, nothing. Nobody is there to say. And he was one amongst those children. So one day he decided, okay, now I will go. So for him it was freedom. The second person I will talk about is Gautam Buddha. This man had the guts to walk outside his house. You understand the amount of power that you require to say, I don't care. And leave the wife and the child, a newborn baby, you see. Not a baby which is grown up or something. Rahula was very, very small. And his father and his mother, okay, and the kingdom which he was supposed to rule. Imagine living an entire kingdom just like that. His wife, his child, and walking out one day in search of God. It's very strange. Now let us come to another person. Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj was always lost in the bhajan of Panduranga, Panduranga, Panduranga. His grandfather had initiated him into that Panduranga. They had a local temple just next to their house and he was sitting over there every day singing songs with his grandfather. Now, then out of love for his parents and all that, this fellow has to get married to one woman. That woman is a witch. Okay? She is literally like sitting on top of his neck for everything. Get this from the market, get this, why are you doing this, why are you doing that, this should not be done like that should not be done like that. If you have somebody like this in your life, are you not miserable? Or somebody keeps on pointing to you all the time. Why are you doing like this? There is less salt in this. There is this in that. There is that in that. Huh? Why you haven't cooked this today? Why you haven't done this today? Why is my room dirty? Why is that thing happened? Every day, morning and evening, morning and evening. Always you are bothered about your bosses and then at home and then the children come and mess the whole place up. And you are worried like every day. What is this happening? Correct? So here, Tukaram Maharaj was like this. He was bitten by the bug of Vithoba, Panduranga. He would be sitting in his shop. He had a shop over there. And full day he will be sitting Panduranga, Panduranga. Jai Hari Vittal, Jai Hari Vittal. He will sing that. And write poetry for Panduranga. That is, people will come and go. And somebody will say, give me this, give me that. Give me 1 kg rice, give me 10 kg rice, give me these, dals and this. And he'll say, okay, take it. And he'll tell his servants, give them. And if this person said, I don't have any money, he says, okay, that's all right. Next time you pay. He emptied his whole house just like that. His wife used to get so upset. You see, you have children. How are we going to take care of this household? But he was lost in Panduranga. And then even the cow stopped giving milk. So she's going to him, she says, useless fellow, go and work somewhere, earn some little money. What kind of a person are you? What Panduranga full time you are doing? That Panduranga doesn't give us money only. He is so bad fellow. And she used to call him Blackie, Kalia, black person. Because Panduranga is dark in color. It's Krishna, you see. Yeah, what is that Blackie fellow doing? So she used to get very upset with him, with God. He is not giving him money, just sitting and doing Panduranga, what is this? Finally, out of that detachment, he will go up the mountain and he will sit over there. And this woman used to bring all the food all the way up. And then the time comes for him to go away. He goes away. Then he will go with his Iktara and Chipali to different villages singing songs. And he had a great fan following. Jai Hari Vitthal, Jai Hari Vitthal, Jai Hari Vitthal. So he'll keep on doing that. Panduranga, Panduranga. And in some of the villages he will find some great fans. And there were some women also who had left everything and running after him. So naturally people are going to have doubts about him, isn't it? And he had no knowledge of Sanskrit and other things. So the neighbor who was the Panditji, his knowledge of Sanskrit was very good. Like he was a Brahmin. So he used to say, don't teach this world all this nonsense. What is this Panduranga, Panduranga you are doing? Teach them the Vedas and the Shastras and this and that. One day that fellow beats him up. Tap, 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 tap. With what? With one babul ka stick. See, babul is a plant where got big thorns. So his whole back is bleeding. And he is continuing Panduranga, Panduranga, and he is not saying anything. But the fellow who is beating him, he has to hold the stick, no? When he is holding the stick, the thorns go in his hand. And he starts bleeding. So he says, wait. Tukaram Maharaj says, wait, I will go to my house and I'll get some oil and I'll rub on your hands. Poor fellow, your hands are bleeding. He goes to his house, gets some oil from the house and he puts it to his hand and he says, now you beat. So can you imagine somebody doing that? So those who are lost in the world of God, they don't have any idea about all these things, material worldly things. And then the Brahmin comes to know that he is a great person and he touches his feet and he says, I'm very sorry, I should not have done this. So I hope you get the idea. So this is how it works. At other times, if you get married, you can get trapped. If you are not married, your parents are going to trap you. If you have children, your children are going to trap you. The world is going to come and talk bad about you. So all these things do happen. And that is the reason why God has to give the grace for you to walk out, which doesn't happen in everybody's case. 1 in a billion, I think 1 in a billion only. I think that would be the percentage. That is how it works. So he says, so his mother dies and he is happy. Now you will say, what kind of sadistic person he is? No, he is happy because God has given him liberation. So what he says, see, verse 10, I took this as a special mercy of the Lord, who always desires benediction of his devotees, and so thinking I started for the north. Now this is what he does. Narada is very happy that okay, now no more attachment in my life. No mother, nobody to look after, no house also. I'll just give the house. If I have a jopadi, I'll give it away to somebody. And he walks away. He says, God is really very kind and merciful on me. This mercy has to descend on a person who is a devotee of God. Everybody can't do that. Okay. I am sure that you will know, even in the story of Jesus, there is a person called Lazarus. And the Lazarus cannot leave his family and go, though he is giving money to Jesus Christ and all that. But he cannot leave and go. He's got a family. But Peter, he's a fisherman. He says to him, come on, let's go. And Peter says, okay, I will go with you. He goes away with him. See, that is the funny part. Life is like this. Those who are truly spiritual people, God gives them their grace so that they can leave everything and go. So Narada got the grace and that is how he left. So verse 11 says, after my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. So now he is traversing whole of India. Where is he going? He is going to the north now. Okay. And that time there were no trains or planes or buses and all that. Okay. He had to walk. So he is walking. Okay. And there was no bata chappal also. So you have to walk like that. Okay. So a poor fellow is walking, he's taking his chipri and his this thing. And imagine, 5 years. Not a old grown up person. 5 years. 5 years. Even after 50 years, we don't have the guts to do that. See, the whole world is going to point fingers at you. You see, this fellow. He is the one who is Jaichan. He left. He is a useless fellow. They are going to point at you. The whole world is going to talk bad about you. Why are you bothered? God wants you to do that, so you have to do that. So I passed through hills and mountains full of reservoirs of various minerals like gold, silver, copper, and through tracts of land with reservoir of water filled with beautiful lotus flowers fit with the denizens of heaven, decorated with bewildered bees and singing birds. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which are very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yard of snakes, owls, and jackals. This is what happens to a human being. You see, if I tell you to go and explore one place, you are going to be scared. Nowadays there are no jungles. Jungles have disappeared. But some places there are jungles. Do you have the guts to go alone in a jungle? No, somebody will kill me. Some wolves will come, some tiger will come, some this will come, some snake will bite me. All these kind of things are there. What is there to be afraid of? If you are to die from a snake bite, his mother died from a snake bite, no? You think even after having advance notice, tomorrow you will die out of snake bite. You think she's... if the snake has to come and bite her, he's anyway going to come and bite her. Okay? That bua comes, no or no? How many know the bua? In Sai Baba's story, there is a bua. Bua means actually a snake. He comes and he sits over there. And Baba sends one person along with this fellow. Go and take care of this guy, okay? That bua is going to come and bite him. Nothing happens. The grace of the Guru is like that. So he takes care. So bua is the snake who is there. So think like that. So here is the same thing happening. Narada is walking alone. Poor fellow, can you imagine 5 years, 6 years? By the time he reaches Himalayas, he must be some 8 years or 10 years old. Because you have to walk so much, no? And you have to stop at different places. And you have to look at the scenery. You have to eat your food. You have to do something or the other. God knows. You have to do something. You have to search for fruit trees are there or what? Apple. No apples over here. Mangoes are there. Okay. So he's walking. So he goes up to the Himalayas. And while he's walking, all different terrains are there. Different places are there. All these things are happening. He has to go through deeper jungles. And when he's passing through the jungles have their own snakes, owls, jackals, tigers, elephants, whatever. All these creatures are roaming all over the place. But he's not afraid. So he goes ahead. Basically, this is what a person does. A person who is not a sadhaka. See, there is a difference between a sadhaka. Sadhaka is connected to a guru. Okay? Sadhu is not connected to anything. Sadhu, when you want to become a sadhu, sannyasa. Sannyasa is important. Sannyasa means tyaga. You leave everything and go. And before that, you are going on sannyasa, which means you are a parivarjika. That's basically a different terminology. As a youngster, you are given the choice. Do you know you were given the choice very early in life? All the males over here. Do you know you were told, please go, get lost? But you people never left. You want to get married, settle down, have children, babies, have houses, go to job, IT company, this company, that company. You know when you got your opportunity? When you are having your thread ceremony. Do you know what a thread ceremony is? A thread ceremony is a ceremony where you are given the opportunity, take this stick, take this jolly, wear these orange color clothes and go and beg. But it is below your dignity to go and beg from people. You see, if I tell somebody, go and ask money from this person, they are going to get very upset. How can I ask? Material worldly people are fearful of asking. They get so scared to ask money from someone. They are saying, oh, what will they think? They will think I am some beggar or somebody like that. No, boss, you don't understand. Asking money is destroying your ego. You see, when you go and beg from people, your ego is decimated. Does it ever enter your head? Go and ask. They say, give me some money. And it's going to be very good for you because that ego of yours doesn't allow you to go and ask for money from somewhere. You see, when people go and ask for money, as a child, I used to do this. I will go house to house and I will ask for money. It is called Vargani. Vargani means we had a celebration. Okay. Hanuman Jayanti was a celebration. Hanuman, you know. So Hanuman Jayanti celebration, I go to every house, knock on the door and say, give us Vargani. And everywhere we went and asked. We were not scared that somebody will bang the door in our face, somebody will throw us out, somebody will put some hot water on our face or something like that. We were always bothered as a child. And then later on in life also, I was told, how can I ask for money? I said, if you don't ask for money, your ego is intact, ma. Go beg. No, but what will people say? I am not a beggar. Of course, the whole world is a beggar. When you go in front of God and ask, God, give me this, God, give me that. What are you? You are a bigger beggar than me. Do you know that story of Akbar? You see, Akbar was one day praying in his mosque. Allahu Akbar, he was sitting over there and praying over there. And one mendicant, he is roaming, he has no money. So, before that, Akbar was going in the jungles. He saw this fellow, he has no money, he is very hungry and all that. So he says, you do one thing, you come to my town, okay, come to Delhi, I will give you money. So he says, okay, fine. So, this fellow comes to meet Akbar. And person over there, sentry tells him, that fellow, oh, he is praying inside. Oh, really, he is praying inside. I will wait outside that place. So he goes and sits outside. And then he hears something. And Akbar finishes the prayer and he comes out and he sees this fellow is walking away. He calls him, come here, come here. What is this? Who are you? What? So he says, see, yesterday you told me to come and meet you so that you will give me some money. But today when I came, I don't feel like asking money from you. Akbar asks him, why you don't want money from me? He says, see, you are a bigger beggar than me. You are telling Allah give me this, Allah give me that. Huh? You are a king and yet you are a bigger beggar than me. I am only thinking about myself to eat food. That's it. You are a beggar who is asking for bigger riches from you, from God. So I don't want to beg from a beggar. I hope you get the point. So that person who has to learn this, so he is called a parivarjika. Okay. So parivarjika is a person who has to learn all this while they are going. Then they can become sannyasis. Alright. So, thus traveling. Verse 14. Thus traveling I felt tired both bodily and mentally. And I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in a river, lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. Verse 15. After that, under the shadow of the banyan tree, In an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate on Sri Krishna, situated within, using my intelligence as I had learned from those sages and saints. Now, what happens? Now, the story continues. Narada is one day is gone near a lake, and he feels tired, hungry, and all that. So he stops over there, takes bath in the river, comes out and sits under a banyan tree. He sits under the tree and he says, there is no food anywhere. So he says, I will just meditate a bit. As taught by those sages. Remember, the sages had taught him some things. So he says, I have learned this meditation technique from the sages. Let me sit here and meditate on the God within. See, ours is the only religion which tells you there is no God outside, there is God within. God is outside also, but searching for God, don't try to search for Him outside. Search within. Only the ignorant people will run after all these gods and goddesses of this world. You understand what I am saying? They are like the politicians. You are running after a politician. Okay? Please give me this, please give me that. I want this sanction, I want that sanction. So every time when there is some administrative head in one place, are you not running after him? I want some ration certificate, I want this signature on that, my property registration, there is that, so many things. You have to do that, isn't it? So here also, the gods are meant for that purpose only. They are not meant for any other purpose. So you go and pray to this God, and God, give me this, God, give me that, God, give me that. Every God you want to go and ask. So here, he has learned God is not outside, God is within. So think of God within. Who? Sri Krishna. So then he says, verse 16, as soon as I began to meditate on the lotus feet of Sri Krishna with my mind transformed in love, tears rolled down my eyes, and without delay, Sri Krishna appeared in the lotus of my heart. So what happens? He is sitting over there, meditating on Sri Krishna within his body. Now, why is this person supposed to meditate within? The reason is because God lives in the core of your heart. He's got one little department inside your heart also, okay? He says, I have built one office inside. Office I don't go to all the time. I am the super boss. No, I have to go to so many offices in this world. This office I don't visit all the time unless and until you dial my number and you say, okay, please come God, then only I will come. So Sri Krishna comes over there. He says, hello my dear, how are you? What are you asking for? What are you doing? I will just imagine this scene. Sri Krishna is there in the core of your heart and he's saying, oh yeah, you called me, how are you? You are wondering what is happening. Oh, my boss is calling me. You know, when boss calls you, how it happens. It's like that. So, next verse says, O Vyasdev, at that time being exceedingly overpowered by feeling of happiness, every part of my body became separately enlivened. Being absorbed in the ocean of ecstasy, I could not see both myself and the Lord. It is when you are overjoyed so much. You are living in a world of ecstasy. You don't know actually what has happened. You can keep on crying all the time. You know, the tears are flowing, ding, 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 ding. When you are exceedingly happy, these are the signs of excess happiness in you, blissfulness actually. One is, you will be either smiling or your mouth will be open. Your eyes are, the tears are flowing down your eyes. You are shivering. Your hairs are standing at end. You don't know what you are speaking. All these kind of symptoms develop in a person. The heart also is pumping very hard. We don't know why it is doing so. So, It is like an ecstasy. At that moment in time, you don't even remember you are there. The idea that you exist doesn't appear at all. You are lost in this vision of God, and you are looking at this God yourself, and the distance between you and Him becomes zero. So, the transcendental form of the Lord as it is satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up being perturbed as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. Now, this is what happens to a person. The form appears only for a moment. Please understand one thing. If you ever get a darshan of the Lord, ever, by chance, by God's grace, if you get a darshan of the Lord, He is in microseconds, okay, milliseconds, microseconds and all that. He is not going to stay there, okay, ready, steady, click. No, say cheese. He is not going to do that for you. Okay, no, let me take out my camera, let me take out my phone, I want to take one picture of yours. God is not going to wait for your picture. Okay, He comes and He disappears. It's a momentary thing. A momentary thing. You have to be very fortunate to sit with Him for 5 days and listen to Him. Giving you nice dulai, surf excel, okay? Or maybe Tide detergent. So that's what He did to me, 5 days, full washing. But sometimes when you have to meet the Lord, He'll come for a microsecond and He will disappear. And when that happens, you are left with a big hole in your heart, black hole. Nobody can fill it. And you are thinking, God, where are you? God, where are you? God, where are you? God has disappeared. And this happens to almost quite a lot of people in this world. The appearance and the disappearance of the Divine Lord happens in a microsecond. It just happens like this and goes away. So here Narada also has the same thing. So imagine, it happens to him and he doesn't know what to do now. Poor fellow is in trouble. Okay. So, all right, let us try one more verse. I desired to see again the transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see Him anymore, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. Verse 20. Seeing my attempts in this lonely place, Sri Krishna, who is transcendental of all mundane descriptions, spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words just to mitigate my grief. So here Narada is sitting over there. Now his eyes are open, okay? And he's thinking, oh, just now I saw Him right in front of me. And now he's disappeared. I will try once again. God, please come back again. Come back. Poor Narada is trying desperately to go back into the same state. Tell me something, if you have tasted a fruit once, do you get the same taste again? No. So what are you trying to do? You won't get the same taste again. I tell people, if you get that one, that one thing, you should be happy in your life. Why? Because that one is sufficient for your entire life. You don't need Him 24/7. So here, Narada is feeling bad. Remember, he is a child, he is not a grown-up person. Okay? And he must have been traveling for some time because he must have grown up at least some 13, 14, 12, 13 years or so. Now he is sitting there, crying for God, trying again and again. Please God, appear for me, appear for me, appear for me, appear for me. God is not appearing. But Sri Krishna is very kind, you have to understand this. You know what Sri Krishna does? He says, okay, I will show you my glimpse. And he comes. Okay, so we have come to the end of verse 20. Before I close, I will tell you Sri Krishna's one very beautiful story. So there is a sage in Calcutta. This sage, he has built a temple next to Dakshineshwar. Dakshineshwar is here, just 200 meters or 300 meters down from the main entrance is this temple. This temple is of a goddess Adyama. Adyama. It is Kali Ma's temple. Now, he was, after Ramakrishna Paramahansa passed away, this person is there. So he was crazy about God. And one day, Ma comes to him and tells him, you do one thing, you go to the, there is one river over there called Ganga river. She is known by another name over there. I've forgotten the name. Somebody can prompt me. So, in that river, at this place in the river, dig over there and you will find my statue over there. So, sorry, that's, no, it's not Howrah. Howrah is the name of a station, the river. So, no, the governor of that state, his house, outside his house, there is a place where you will find me. So he goes in the middle of the night with one axe and all, pickaxe and all that, and he starts digging that place. People come to know about it. They get very upset. How can you do this? Continues to dig. There he finds a small murti, this much only. Now, when he finds his murti, everybody comes to visit him. Now, he is a poor man. He is not a rich man. So they come to visit him. And then Ma suddenly comes to him in his dream and he says, now go and immerse me in the river. You should know, in Calcutta, okay, the system is, after Navaratri, you go and immerse the statue, no? So it's like that. So Ma also tells him, now you have to immerse me. Now this is a stone. So he takes a ship in the middle and he puts that thing, okay, in the river. So now he is very much upset because he wants Ma. He wants Ma. So he says, now what am I to do? Now he is not a great artist. So he, by his memory, draws the image. He draws the image and he says, I will build one temple. Remember, this man is poor. He doesn't have any money. So he will go and ask money from every person. Please give me money, please give me money, please give me money, please give me money. Everybody would say, we don't need. Some people would give him money. See, it is important to build a temple. So building the temple was extremely important. So he would collect money. It took him many, many years. He would go from Jagannath Puri to this place, to that place, to Vrindavan. And that time it was only walking because there was no transportation that much, bullock carts and all, he would go. So he one day walks all the way and he faints over there because there is no food and no water for him. So in the middle, somewhere in the jungle, he faints. So when he faints over there, suddenly he is woken up. Somebody is putting water on his face. This is a young girl of some 8-10 years. And Then she says, you're woken up. He wakes up and he says, where am I? So she says, oh, you are here in this Brijwar, in Vrindavan you are in. Really? Okay. And then she says, okay, now I'm going. He says, no, but I need water. So she is playing with one young boy over there. So these two, boy and girl, are playing. So they are playing in some bushes and all that. So she says, okay, you wait over here. I will get one ghada, one matka from the river, from some house. There's a nearby village. I stay over there. The girl says, I stay in the nearby village. I will get one rope and one matka and I will come. And both this boy and girl disappear. And about 10-15 minutes later, they are back. They bring one matka, one pot and one rope. And nearby there is a well. So they put that matka in that and then they draw out water. He's very thirsty and they give him water and some food, little food they give. She must have bought from her house. So he drinks and he says, I'm very thankful for y'all. You saved my life. This is the girl and the boy, they start laughing at him. Okay, doesn't matter. So where are you going? I am looking for money. I am building a temple. Oh, you are building a temple. What temple are you building? I am building a temple of Kalima. So this young couple says, this young small boy, they say, hey, boy, girl, what, you are building a temple for Kalima? Why? Because she is the highest of the goddess. But I thought higher than God is love. Really? Yeah. Radha Krishna. Higher than God is love. And it strikes him quite a lot. Yes, of course, it is love. And then these children run away. So he is sitting under that tree. After some time, some villagers are coming over there. They come to this place. So they see this man is sitting and next to him the pot is lying and that rope is lying over there only. So they come and they ask him, who are you? He says, I have come from Kolkata. They say, yeah. This matka and this rope, did you use? Yeah. Did you drink the water from that well? Yeah. That is a poisoned well. Many people have died drinking that water. What are you saying? This is... He says, but no. There was this young boy and young girl. They came. They brought this matka from the village. They brought me some food also. And they fed me this water and food. And they went away. The villagers are looking at each other. What boy and girl? What village? There is no boy and girl in any village over here. And what boy and what girl? He describes them. Oh my God, you met Radha Krishna. That is how it is. And this temple is only open for 1 hour or something, or maybe 15 minutes or something like that. So when you go to that place, you have to see the image from about 50 feet away. You are not allowed inside the temple. The temple is there and you have to see from another building. So you stand and you watch. And that door opens and you can see there three things. Kalima is in the middle. Kalima's image, exactly the way he saw Kalima, that is there. On top is Radha Krishna. And below Kalima is Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So this is the meaning of it. To go to reach, if you want to reach God, you have to go through the Guru. And when you find God, you have to find love. The highest in the world is devotion. And so Adhyama temple is there, you can go and see. So it's a very beautiful place. There are lots of stories connected to it. With my disciples also, someday I will tell you all. So we will stop over here for the moment. And I will see you all in the coming week. Okay? So take care. Have a very
Recording
good
stopped.